The bookies in the United Kingdom have released their odds for the top goal scorer this season in the English Premier League. And calm down! The Premier League's next weekend. That's why we're doing all these Premier League clips. When it comes to La Liga, at the end of the month, we'll bring you more La Liga clips and so on and so forth. But at the moment, I want to talk about the top goal scorers. Do you want to talk about the top goal scorers?
I know who's going to do it.
Who's going to do it?
Why would I give them the answer already?
All right, you have to wait. Wow. Stick around for the clip, because this won't even get us a view, probably on YouTube's terms. So we're just going to wait. All right, next. All right, so there's been a bunch of the, I'd say the usual suspects are in there. So the bookies' favourite, do we have a graphic?
Yeah, we do.
Of course we do. Jason, throw me the graphic.
Graphic.
There we go. So Sergio Aguero is the out-and-out favourite, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Not just because many people will think, well, Manchester City aren't that good, blah, blah, blah. All right, Diego Costa, 9-2. Wayne Rooney, 11-1 on, 11-1 odds. Harry Kane, some would say a safe bet at 12-1. Alexis Sanchez, 14-1. Christian Benteke, 16-1. Giroud, Daniel Sturridge, Memphis Depay, Eden Hazard, interesting, 21. Radamel Falcao, great bet at 20-1. Bonnie 25 and Remy 30. Remy Walcott and Lukaku at 33-1. So Jason, now the audience has been waiting. They've been watching the clock go by. Now it's officially been about a minute, I'd say, into this clip. Tell me who.
Harry Kane.
Good call. Why?
One specific reason.
Yeah.
Kane-mania. That's at least what the Independent said. They said Kane-mania. I didn't make it up. I'd be way more creative and say sugar cane.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
So, yeah, Tottenham's probably going to have to rely on him scoring goals a lot more than I want to say. Chelsea is going to need that. That's why I would rule out Diego Costa. The same reason as it's a super safe bet to take Costa or Aguero.
Yeah.
And that's not fun to me. And when it comes to the odds, you don't want to just put all your money down on the outright favorite. You're not going to get the best return.
Yeah.
So that little side bet, maybe that $20 or £20 spot. I'm not sure how compulsive of sports bettors you are, if you're like me. Then I'd put the money on Harry Kane because I feel like he's going to get a lot of chances to score.
Absolutely.
Which isn't that bold of a statement, but I think that he is.
Can you make a bold statement noise though?
Bold! I feel, and correct me when I'm wrong here, Francis, I need your support.
Okay.
How many other scoring options does Tottenham have?
Not a lot. And
compared to that of
Chelsea,
right. Manchester City, Manchester United.
Every year, there's someone who will come emerging from the bottom of the table to rival top goal scorers, like Charlie Austin last year. He was out-and-out, basically, option for QPR. That's why he got so many goals. So if you're going to bet on this, don't take into account who you think is going to win the Premier League, because we know that Chelsea don't score as much goals as Manchester City. Diego Costa is still a good bet. But that's why Sergio Aguero is the favourite, because for the last 2 seasons in a row, Manchester City have had the most team goals. Sergio Aguero isn't the only attacking option, but he's still in and around there most of the time. So that's why I think that Harry Kane is a good bet to have. And I will take that perspective, and I will go to, I think Christian Benteke could be a good bet as well. I've said that he's not going to be the best signing for Liverpool, but does that mean that he might not score a bunch of goals? Because the best team doesn't always score the most goals. As we've said, Liverpool are going to be attacking this year. They've signed attacking players. They're looking to try and exploit defence. They're looking to use Benteke as a target man, especially when Sturridge comes in to join him. He could be a safe bet. He scored a good amount of goals for Aston Villa towards the second half of last season. I think he was around 14 or 15. And we know in the Premier League, you're not going to get 50, 60 goals a season. It's a lot harder to score that amount of goals in the Premier League, as you've seen in La Liga.
It hasn't happened in 15 years.
When strikers break 30 goals, they're like, holy Jesus. Like overall, not just in the Premier League.
I was looking back on the history of the top goal scorers in the Premier League, and there was years where 18 was the top. I mean, there's 5 guys tied for 18.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Thierry Henry years where there was 30 a season, basically. And, of course, if you go way back to Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer.
Just
Did you all
rail
happy
him off.
with that? Yeah. If we can throw back to the graphic again, I want to take a quick look to see before I have my predictions.
I want to hear your predictions. I have a few things that I feel I'm going to ask you this question. Are there brand-friendly names that are just going to get sportsbooks money? For example, like Wayne Rooney, like Olivier Giroud, Falcao?
Wayne Rooney will get sportsbooks money, right? Because, again, Manchester United didn't sign an out-and-out striker this season.
The only United player on that. I'm sorry, Depay.
Depay's in there, but the way they've been playing Depay is sort of behind Wayne Rooney, so he'll be more of a provider as well. Still probably pitch in with a few goals. Giroud, for me, I think is a good bet because, again, Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez, I think, is higher than Giroud, but he might be a good outside bet because looking at his form towards certain parts of last season, he was scoring when he was getting into those areas in the box. And I think that Arsenal have shown their faith in him by not going out and signing an out-and-out striker. That could boost his confidence. That could perhaps allow him to score some goals. But I think you've got to take someone on an outside bet as well, someone in the lower level of the Premier League.
What about your boy, Eden Hazard?
I Hazard as well. I think Hazard will be going out to prove that he can score more goals this season. I think that towards the second half of last season, his goals started to drift away. He would score important goals in big games, but I think he needs to be hitting the back of net more consistently for Chelsea. Falcao, obviously, some guy can dream that he might be able to roll back the years. And I watched him against Arsenal at the weekend, and I tweeted out, I wanted it to be picked up by Sky Sports, my tweet, but it just didn't. I said, different team, same first touch. He can move teams all he wants, but just the simple fundamentals of the game, which I expect to see in a star striker, weren't there still. Right. Maybe he's still a little rusty, I don't know. He shaved his hair. It didn't seem to work. It didn't take the weight off of his first touch or his foot, losing the ball.
At what point are we going to come to the conclusion that he's not what he used to be? He didn't look all that great on Colombia when they played in Copa America. He didn't look all that great last year, and I just Jose Mourinho is it Jose or Jose?
Jose, by the way. Jose, so I'm correcting myself on this. Jose quite a lot.
Jose Mourinho is a mastermind when it comes to coaching, bossing, whatever you call it, managing. But that just means he's going to hopefully get the most efficient time and energy out of Falcao, which might include less than 10 goals easily.
Absolutely.
10 goals is a lot of goals in general for the Premier League, but I wanted to make the point that I was screaming at my PlayStation this weekend when I lost in FIFA Ultimate Team to a guy who scored 5 goals with Falcao in the air, which I kept screaming, in what world does this exist today? Because it's true, this isn't 2013.
Falcao is going to be used very similarly to what I think Drogba was used for Chelsea last season. He can come up with maybe one important goal every 5 or 6 games, and he's doing his job. They've got Costa. They've got Loic Remy, who's going to be used more than Falcao, I think, because Loic Remy is a devastating striker when you get him in the right places, when you use him at the right times. I think Remy might want to play more than what he had played previously. So I think Falcao will be used very similar to Drogba, but don't be putting money on him to be top goal scorer.
Drogba led the Premier League in goals once.
Oh, Drogba was a fantastic striker.
But it wasn't so much his striking when I was watching all the old YouTube highlights. It was his headers from like the top of the box that were lasers.
His header against Bayern Munich in the Champions League final goes down as one of the best headers I've seen. Front post, bang, and that was just before the end of the game to tie it up, taking extra time and penalties, which they won. And Drogba, I think, was a leader on that time. So again, I'm going to say that I wouldn't put Sturridge on for goal scorer as well, because I don't think he's predicted to be back until October. It'd be a great run if he managed to do that. But I think you're going to be safe with Aguero, because we know that Manchester City are going to score a lot of goals. With Jovetic out already, Dzeko perhaps heading out, signing Sterling, which to me just adds more assist value to Aguero. I think he's going to be my best bet.
Is Sterling even on there or no?
Sterling's not going to provide that many goals. I think he's low on the list. I would say he's more like a 40 or 50 to 1. I think.
$5.
Right. But you're interested, and there's no Danny Ings on there either, who's just signed for Liverpool in a good goal-scoring run at Burnley. So there is a few that's not mentioned on that list. Maybe there's some in there that you think should be mentioned that you guys could say who you would put your bet on for this year. But it's Harry Kane and it's Sergio Aguero. Not very exciting here, guys. I'm afraid we stick to what we know will work. How much money you want to put on in our own TYT Sports poll?
20.
20? So you're going to say 20 that Harry Kane scores more than Aguero because you think he's going to be top goal scorer?
Yeah, if he's a top goal scorer, then yeah. Shake on it. Do I get odds?
No. God. $20. God. You see it here.
I've lost every bet I've made on TYT Sports.
I might get thrown out of the country for this because this is considered
illegal.
Doing something illegal.
But the difference
Don't
is,
report me.
I'll pay Francis. I won't pay Ben.
Nice. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe if you want to see more of me and Jason. We're going to be talking a lot of the Premier League and more. Don't forget, we'll be talking world football as a whole as the season starts.